What's good, y'all? It's your guy Bendu, and so as a lot of you probably heard, Jeff Bezos is going to be stepping down. Stepping down as CEO of Amazon. So I just want to dive into that. One of my homies actually put me on, told me I should do a story about it immediately. So here I am. So let's get into this. Um, so this is from NBC News, and Jeff Bezos said Tuesday that he will step down as CEO of Amazon, leaving the helm of the company he founded 27 years ago. Bezos will transition to the role of executive chair in the third quarter of this year, which starts July 1st, the company said. Andy Jassy, the chief executive of Amazon Web Services, will take over as CEO of Amazon. In a memo to employees, Bezos said the transition will give him the time and energy I need to focus on the Day One Fund, the Bezos Earth Fund, Blue Origin, the Washington Post, and my other passions. Yeah, your other passions being destroying fucking journalism. That's why the Washington Post prints nothing but fucking garbage because you own that magazine. The announcement set off alarm bells on Wall Street and throughout the business community. Though the transition does not necessarily portend any significant change to Amazon's business, we're going to keep exploiting workers. No change in that. Amazon reported a year of record growth on Tuesday, including a 38% increase in net sales from 2019, netting the company $21 billion in income, nearly double from the year before. Investors didn't seem phased by the news either. Amazon share price was up about 1.5% following the announcement. Bezos Bezos steps away from Amazon at a time when its market value hovers around 1.7 trillion, making it one of the most valuable companies in the world. It remains to be seen how active Bezos will be in Amazon's business in his new role. Several major tech executives have stepped down as CEO and remain intimately involved in their company's business, including Larry Ellison at Oracle and Bill Gates at Microsoft. Bezos remains one of Amazon's biggest shareholders. I will reiterate, Jeff Bezos is not leaving. Brian Olsavsky said, chief financial CFO of Amazon, told investors on Tuesday. He's going to be executive chairman, super important role, super active in the Amazon success story. In Jazzy, Bezos is tapping a longtime Amazon employee who joined in 1997 and built the company's cloud services, which they now lend out to the FBI for the tune of like 600 billion, I believe, or 600 million, something like that. Which started as a small addition to its e-commerce operations, but has grown in recent years to account for roughly 60% of operating profit and has become one of the leaders of the cloud computing industry. The move is a major turning point in one of the most successful entrepreneurial runs in American history. Bezos founded Amazon in 1994 as an online bookstore, survived the dot-com bubble in the early 2000s. I don't know, this is all bullshit. Yeah, this is all bullshit. They're congratulating him for leaving. So I'm about to get into Amazon's fuckery and why this asshole stepping down. It doesn't really matter because this company is evil as fuck. So this is his email, that he sent out to people. I'd recommend reading it. I don't feel like reading it because it's all bullshit. I worked at Amazon. They send out these bullshit emails all the time. Yeah, this is the real Jeff Bezos. Amazon will pay $61.7 million dollars to delivery drivers after withholding tips. Amazon will pay more than $61.7 million dollars to flex drivers from whom it withheld the full amount of customer tips to settle a FTC investigation. The settlement comes nearly 2 years after the Los Angeles Times first exposed that Amazon was dipping in the customer tips to cover the base pay guaranteed to flex drivers who deliver Amazon Fresh, Prime Now, and other orders. The money will reimburse flex drivers whose tips Amazon withheld over the last 2.5 years, according to the FTC. Until August 9th, 2019, Amazon promised flex drivers a guaranteed minimum base pay for each order, which the e-commerce company said included 100% of customer tips. However, as the Times reported, Amazon would at times use tips to subsidize the company's own payment to workers. In one case, a driver who was assigned to deliver an order to his own home tipped himself $12. The guaranteed minimum base pay for the order was $27. The driver received $30 in compensation for the order, which the company said included 100% of the tip, showing that Amazon contributed only $18. So yeah, that's the real Jeff Bezos. He likes to stiff his fucking workers. In May 2019, a few months after the pay model was revealed, the FTC notified Amazon that it was launching an investigation and sought records regarding its payment policies for flex drivers. According to the complaint, Amazon changed its tip dipping practice after learning it was under investigation by the FTC in August 2019. Amazon sent an email to drivers indicated that it would no longer use tips to subsidize base pay and that the company would give a full breakdown of how much workers were being paid for each order. Yeah, you're full of shit. In addition to the $61.7 million settlement, Amazon will be prohibited from making changes to how drivers receive customer tips without getting drivers' written consent and from misrepresenting driver pay or tips. The FTC has asked Amazon Flex drivers to sign up to receive email updates on the status of the refund process. Yeah, that's the real Jeff Bezos. Amazon and Walmart halted hazard pay for workers despite making $30 billion. Supermarkets have a lot to be thankful for. Their workers, not so much. The eight biggest grocery companies have made over $10 billion more in profits so far in 2020 than they did over the same period of 2019. Walmart, which made $15.6 billion in profit in 2020, is the top earner. Amazon, the parent corporation of the grocery chain Whole Foods, comes in at a close second, having earned $14.1 billion in profits so far in 2020. Both corporate giants offered frontline employees extra pay in the spring during the first phase of the pandemic. Many retailers did the same, sometimes called hazard pay or thank you bonuses. Some added as much as $2 to employees' hourly wage, while others offered occasional lump sum bonuses. But despite their windfall of nearly $30 billion in the worsening pandemic, both Walmart and Amazon halted hazard pay by midsummer. Other top supermarkets are doing no better for their workers. Albertsons and Kroger's latest quarterly earnings both show profits, and you get the gist. But this is the profit, like, so net profit so far in fiscal year 2020. Amazon, here we go, right here. It had a 24% increase. So the net profit so far in 2020 fiscal year, 14 million, 14 billion, $109 million. The net profits the same date in fiscal year 2019, 11 billion, $347 million. Difference between 2019 is like a $2.762 billion difference. So a 24% increase. It's fucking ridiculous. And you can't pay your workers. Again, Amazon stiffing the working class. This is the real Jeff Bezos. What is this? Oh, it's a commercial. I was like, what the hell? It gets worse when it comes to their workers. Amazon is hiring intelligence analysts to track labor organizing threats. Amazon is looking to hire two new people who can focus on keeping tabs on labor activists within the company. Amazon is looking to hire two intelligence analysts to track labor organizing threats within the company. The company recently posted two job listings for analysts that can keep an eye on sensitive and confidential topics, including labor organizing threats against the company. Amazon is looking to hire an intelligence analyst and a senior intelligence analyst for its global security um, operations global intelligence program, the team that's responsible for physical and corporate security operations such as insider threats and industrial espionage. The job ads list several kinds of threats such as protest, geopolitical crisis, conflicts impacting operations, but focuses on organized labor in particular, mentioning it three times in one of the listings. Amazon has historically been hostile, and I actually, like, when I was looking to apply for jobs, because I was, at the time, I was going through like a computer program, and I thought I might have been qualified. I was looking into it. I remember seeing these on the website. That's insane. But I didn't understand what they were. But Amazon historically has been hostile to workers attempting to form a union or organize any kind of collective action. Last year, an Amazon spokesperson accused unions of exploiting Prime Day to raise awareness to their cause and increase membership dues. Earlier this year, the company fired Christian Smalls, and I'm going to get to that. a black employee who led a protest at a fulfillment center in New York over Amazon's inadequate safety measures in the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic. During a meeting um, with Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, company executives discussed plans to smear Smalls, calling him not smart or articulate. These job listings show Amazon sees labor organizing as one of the biggest threats to its existence. And these are the screenshots of it and everything. Let me boom. That's nutty. Dania Rajada, whatever, the director of the Athena Coalition, an alliance of dozens of grassroots labor groups that organize Amazon workers, criticized the listing. Workers, especially black workers, have been telling us all for months that Amazon is targeting them for speaking out. This job description is proof that Amazon intends to continue on its course. Rajendra told Motherboard in a statement. I hope I'm saying her name right. The public deserves to know whether Amazon will continue to fill these positions, even if they're no longer publicly posted. Fucking ridiculous. So they're literally tracking you. It gets worse though. It gets worse though. Amazon is using. Oh, here we go. If you guys have played Red Dead Redemption, you'll recognize this name. Amazon is using union busting Pinkerton spies. You cannot make this shit up. To track warehouse workers and labor movements at the company, according to a new report. Amazon has hired detectives with the infamous Pinkerton spy agency to monitor European workers' labor union organizing efforts, per a Motherboard report. The outlet obtained leaked documents from Amazon's Global Security Operations Center, where data analysts, I guess they filled those positions, can easily track workers' union organizing activities down to the date, time, and location. Pinkerton spies have a history of busting up unions. Their involvement in a steelworker strike in 1892 eventually led to states prohibiting the use of third party security in labor disputes. The Motherboard report highlights Amazon's latest efforts to prevent its workers from unionizing. It has a long track record of being staunchly opposed to labor unions. So there we go. There we go. But hold up. What's worse? I want to go. I'm gonna skip to this. I'm gonna get to that later. What is this? Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to that too. But I want to get to this first. Why Amazon's collaboration with the CIA is so ominous. So they're tracking their employees, right? Yeah, and ironically, conveniently, they have a contract with the CIA. Now, as you guys know, I brought up on the channel. I broke on my channel that the squad, in fact, does take corporate money. AOC takes money from Amazon. I forget what the exact number was. If you watch the video, I'll link it here right now. It's in the tag above. Um, she took money from Amazon, and I find it funny how people still find it ironic that she tends to spew out CIA talking points. So that's one thing. But as the world's biggest online retailer, Amazon wants a benevolent image to encourage trust from customers. Obtaining vast quantities of their personal information has been central to the firm's business model. But Amazon is diversifying, and a few months ago, the company signed a $600 million contract with the CIA to provide cloud computing services. Amazon now has the means, motive, and opportunity to provide huge amounts of customer information to its new business partner. And in case you guys don't know, the CIA has been in bed with all of these like big tech, Silicon Valley dipshits like fucking Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, and Jeff Bezos, and a lot of these people actually also, and my video is probably going to get throttled for this, but a lot of these big tech billionaires have ties to Jeffrey Epstein and specifically Ghislaine Maxwell, his wife, who's on trial. They're pedophiles. They like to rape children. So that's the type of company that Jeff Bezos keeps. I believe Ghislaine was actually, hang on one second. I believe she was at one of Jeff Bezos's parties. Yes. Ghislaine Maxwell was a guest at Jeff Bezos' secret book retreat. Motherboard has learned Jeffrey Epstein's alleged fixer attended the Amazon CEO's exclusive book retreat campfire last year. So there's that. But let me get back to the CIA story. Um, the Central Intelligence Agency, oh, here we go. Amazon now, oh yeah. An official statement from Amazon headquarters last fall declared, "We look forward to a successful relationship with the CIA." It's fucking ridiculous. The CIA has plenty of money to throw around thanks to documents provided by NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden. We know that the CIA's annual budget is $14.7 billion. The NSA's is $10.8 billion. The founder and CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, is bullish on the company's prospects for building on its initial contract with the CIA. As you might expect from a gung ho capitalist with about $25 billion in personal wealth, Bezos figures he's just getting started. This is fucking insane, dude. This is insane. And he pals around with people like Ghislaine Maxwell, as you see here. And this is the story I was talking about before with Christian Smalls. Now, if you don't know Christian Smalls, I'd recommend following him on Twitter. He's like been leading like a lot of protests. They actually like set up this like makeshift guillotine outside of his New York home, I believe. Like they put a guillotine outside of his crib. It's kind of lit. I might go to one of the protests in the future. Like I really want to go, and I want to meet him. Like he seems cool, like a cool dude. So, but um, Amazon executives denigrated a fired warehouse worker as not smart or articulate in a meeting with Jeff Bezos, according to a leaked memo obtained by Vice News. Actually, let me go to the original because that's where I read it at. That's not Christian Small. But yeah, so they basically like they fucking smeared this guy as he's not smart, but literally all the guy wanted to do, he was trying to um get protective get PPE to the people within the Amazon warehouse, and that's going to be imperative to the next story, to the final nail in the coffin, as you'll say. But yeah, but literally he was trying to get protective equipment and get them to actually like take on COVID when it first happened, and they were refusing to. So he started out just sitting, at lunch and everything, using his PTO to talk to people and let them know that, they're not telling you the truth about COVID. They're fudging the numbers, they're lying, this and that. And then finally it got to the point where they still weren't doing anything. So he staged a strike and he ended up getting fired for it. And for retaliation. Now, Amazon's official report is that he was violating COVID-19 social distancing measures, which is complete bullshit. They fired him out of retaliation, and this leaked memo says it. So this is Amazon, but this is the final piece I want to get to. Now, this is Jordan Sheraton. Let me go to his Twitter. Actually, hang on. So this is a thread from Jordan Sheridan. And Amazon worker Pushan Brown, 38, was made to COVID test other workers for several months. She was not given an N95 mask, hazard pay, and social distancing was non-existent. Her sister told me Pushan came home recently with a headache. She died in bed the next morning. This is her. And I'm going to enlarge it because that's very small. The text. There were multiple people that came in on different occasions who were sick. Somebody came in and threw up right there. She said she wasn't going to clean it up. Cleaning crew didn't want to clean it up. They never closed the warehouse in Virginia, Sister Christina told me. Absolutely not. No shields, no face mask, no nothing. Christina told me about what Amazon wasn't providing. Amazon kept saying they were going to give bonuses. They never gave no bonuses. Even though Pushan was testing coworkers daily from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., she was only COVID tested one time. She just said her head was hurting her. She made breakfast, laid back down at about 9:30 a.m., and then she died. The cheapest autopsy Christina could afford was $7,600. She couldn't afford it. I'll never know what my sister died of. How does somebody 38 years old die of natural causes? So I'm assuming that she's saying that they're saying that she died of natural causes, but they like they're not being specific, I guess, but that's something that Jordan will have to elaborate on. But um, basically, she wants to know if her sister died of anything related to COVID and her, um, you know, testing people for COVID and everything. Christina is now the sole caretaker for her and Pushan's mother, who was paralyzed. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm tripping. Pushan Brown had a 12-year-old daughter, Gabrielle, who is now with Christina. Christina is now the sole caretaker for her and Pushan's mother, as well, who is paralyzed. Christina says Pushan would get text alerts when workers tested positive for COVID. There were at least 10 to 15 alerts a day. No one from Amazon called Christina to offer condolences. The supervisor called Pushan's phone, which Christina now has, asking why she wasn't coming into work. Christina told the supervisor Pushan died. The supervisor said, "So sorry," and they would send her Pushan's final pay. That's the question I was going to ask you, or if somebody knows something I don't know. Christina told me when I asked, why is Amazon having its workers COVID test other workers rather than the richest man on the planet, Jeff Bezos, hiring doctors and nurses to do it? Nobody has called to say sorry. Nobody has called to say, do you need anything? Nobody has called to say what happened. Christina desperately needs financial help. She spent her only savings on Pushan's funeral. She now is the sole caretaker for her paralyzed mother, Pushan's daughter, Gabrielle, who Christina found a therapist for, and three of her own children. Now, and of course, if you could please donate, go to her, donate if you can. Please donate to her GoFundMe. And I'd recommend going to Jordan's page, and they have it listed here. But you had a worker who died, whether it was COVID that she caught or something. She just dropped dead and died. Don't you think we should send our mother some fucking flowers or a piece of fruit or some shit? That's what the sister said. I have no help, sir. We have no money. I had to take the last bit of money that I had to bury my sister. We could not afford an autopsy. This is Pushan Brown 2 days before she died. This is what Amazon provided her with to test coworkers for COVID. No goggles, no shield, no gown, no N95 mask. Update. This thread garnered 4,000 retweets. An Amazon HR official reached out to Christina just now, asking her questions about Pushan's funeral and other questions. Interesting timing, yeah? Hey? And his interview is below. So I definitely recommend going and checking out the whole interview. And here's Christian Smalls. He's a good dude, man. Just, I want to personally thank everyone who is pushing and contributing. I've been talking with Christina, her sister, daily on behalf of the family. They are also very grateful. Amazon, on the other hand, should be ashamed. They have yet to contact them or notify the workers at that site. So this is fucking insane, dude. And that's just, to me, the nail in the coffin. And of course, here's the
small little company, mom and pop. We're talking about Amazon worldwide, trillion company. You want doing that? She had no business coming around people and being in presence of people who think that they may have it, who are feeling symptoms, who have symptoms of it. She's not that. She had no hazmat pay. She was not trained to do that, and not to mention that she was not in proper attire to do that. So at the end of the day, like, I would think that she worked for your company. She slaved for your company. She slaved for your company for almost 3 years. I would think that you could at least send a fruit basket to my mother. I think that you could at least send a card to her daughter. I think that you could at least do that. When she never said no. When she drove for you, snowstorms, ice storms, and came to work, when she wasn't feeling like it, and through the pandemic, y'all never closed down. I think that you could at least send my mother a card. I think that you could at least send something to her daughter. I think that you could at least did that. We're not talking about no small little company, mom and pop. We're talking about Amazon worldwide, trillion company. You understand? Nobody has said anything. And I would at least think that it's weird that she did work in the COVID section and nobody has said, well, listen, we pay for the autopsy, or we know you don't have money for that, but can we at least, so we can clear our name and say that we didn't have anything to do with it? No, nobody said anything. So no, don't call me now, because I have nothing to give you. I have nothing to give you. I have nothing to give you. I have lost everything. You understand that? It's like a child. My little sister, she was like my child. She was like my child. I did not have her, but she was my child. I got her that job. I got her everything. She had the car, the place she lived in, everything. So have a lot of emotions going through me. I'm angry and I'm upset. I'm angry, upset. My mother lost. We lost my father. We just lost my grandmother, and now we lost my sister. I had to take her daughter. Her daughter is 12 years old. Nobody have not sent nothing. No card, no nothing.
And that's To me, that's just the encapsulation of what Amazon does to the American people. They just suck everything out of the communities and leave everybody with nothing. And it's like, this specific story, say what you want about Jordan Sheridan. I know a lot of you got problems and beef with Jordan Sheridan, but in my opinion, like I feel he's highlighting the shit that real people are going through that a lot of media people are not doing. Mainstream media people are not doing. Independent media, of course, is covering. Frank Analysis, shout out to him. Shout out to Jimmy Dore, obviously, Graham Elwood, Heartlands Media, Unapologetic on YouTube. That's my guy. I recently subscribed to you, bro. I fuck with you heavy. I felt, all the most of the independent media, not the progressives like Sam Cedar, the Majority Report, Young Turks, all them niggas, they not doing that shit. But shout out to Jordan Sheridan, his coverage on Flint and his coverage on this. But this is the encapsulation of what Amazon does to people, and the media is not covering it because the media is in a tank with these people. Biden's cabinet, Obama's cabinet was full of Amazon people and big tech people, so they're not doing anything about it. And just the media is not doing anything about it. CNN, MSNBC, the New York Times, the Washington Post, of course they're not going to do it because he fucking owns the newspaper. And this is what happens when you allow the billionaires you're supposed to be critiquing and holding to the fire. This is what happens when they're allowed to have a monopoly over all the information in the country. And this is just the encapsulation to me of Jeff Bezos and Amazon. That last video you just saw. So I'm gonna go ahead and close the video out there. I know this is a bit of a long one, but I really wanted to get in depth with this Amazon shit because like Jeff Bezos is a leech. He's literally Lex Luthor, that bald motherfucker. He literally looks like Lex Luthor. And, him stepping down, he's probably going to go work on space, trying to, fly all the rich people to space and leave all the poor people behind and shit as the planet fucking implodes on itself because of all the bullshit and fuckery, him and his billionaire buddies did. But hey, what can you do except direct action, strikes, and continue, pushing for, a better tomorrow, man, and pressuring these fucking bitch ass politicians. Real talk. So I'm gonna go ahead and close the video out there. As always, hit that thumbs up button. Also, I want to request that you guys share it. The subscribers been going up. I appreciate all the love y'all been showing me. I appreciate all the comments y'all been showing me. Like I said, I'm gonna be having some guests on coming up, so stay tuned for that. I'm having somebody here talking about direct democracy. Mike Gravel is playing. They're going to be on, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to be talking more about the game stonk situation going on. I think that's how you say it. So it's a lot of shit coming, and I got some announcements Friday coming as well. So stay tuned. So tuning in.